So let's get into instruction. There's not a lot of instruction that's required because the clubs take care of that and all this equipment. We're going to be developing feelings. And the first thing you need to have is an understanding of the grip, because that's the most important thing in all of golf. And that's why these clubs are uniquely designed, that there's two flat surfaces on the top of the grip, and one is blue and one is white. So that whenever you take your grip, you always want to have the club out in front of you, and then you want to put your left thumb on the blue and your right thumb on the white. And that gives you a perfect grip. So you always want to check that with the kids when you're working with them. Now let's talk about the golf swing as a whole. And I've always used a hula hoop because you want to always share that the kids that the golf swing is a circle. The club swings around your body in a circle in an arc, just like a baseball player. And then we simply just tilt that arc down lower and lower and lower until the club head swings into the ball. And that's the same thing you want to teach for every one of your shots. The full swing is a big circle all the way around and through. And then we have a pitch shot, which goes halfway back and around and through. And this is just kind of a part of an arc of the swing. And then we have a chip shot, which is a little bitty arc, like this. And then ultimately we're going to have a putt, which is a smaller arc at the bottom. So the key is to give these kids, help them to become a good circle maker when they're playing. And now let's talk about the basic stance that's required to swing that club in a circle. To be a good circle maker, you have to have a good stance, and you want to share this with the kids. Now I'm going to give you a simple way to help them set up to the ball. First of all, you want them to feel like they're a rooster when they set up, and they're going to stick their tail feathers out and just sit down. And then they're going to hang their arms down like an elephant trunk, and that's going to be able to swing the club around like in a circle, hanging their arms down like an elephant. So a rooster and an elephant is the best way to explain the stance when you set up to the ball. The tee mat is so unique, and you can see that it has arrows on both sides and a crossbar. And so when you set this up, you want to have this aimed right towards the target. So when you put it down, you want to aim it at the target and then put your ball on it. And now when you set up to it, this is going to help you to get your feet lined up square to the tee mat. That's another great thing about it. And then also, because of this cross line here, you can have them line up the face to that. So here's your perfect setup every time, and that's so important in golf. Now, air golf will be the most beneficial way for you to teach the feeling for the golf swing, because all the feelings of golf can be taught by simply swinging the ball. As you play with this ball, they're going to learn the fundamentals, and it works just like I showed you with the clubs. For a putt, the ball's going to swing back in a small arc. For a chip, a little longer. For a pitch shot, a little longer. And then for the full swing, we're going to make a full circle all the way through. So let me show you the 4 shots and how we use this wonderful air golf flyer to develop those feelings. First of all, you want to take your stance like a rooster, hang the arms like a elephant trunk, and then you want to start them out choking down on the ribbon, not too far from the ball. And then they simply swing their arms back and forth like an elephant trunk. And when they're doing this, you don't want them to flip their wrists. You want them to just simply keep the ball underneath their hands at all times. Now we're going to use the cube box for the hole. So for a putt, you're going to be right in here, swinging the arms back, feeling the distance, and then we simply swing back and then drop it in to the hole, and that would be a putt. When we go back a little bit farther for the chip shot, we're going to have the same motion, but a little bit farther back, a little bit farther back, and then let it go. For a pitch shot, it's even going to be farther for the longer one. And then for the drive, we're going to go right back to the same feeling of a baseball swing. Now here's what you do with the kids when they start out. Start them out about halfway up here. Have them stand up nice and straight. And we're going to start with a helicopter drill, just kind of swinging the arms around like a helicopter blade around their spine. And then they tilt down lower and lower. And this is the feeling that we want them to have, like this is the motor of the swing, the circular inner feeling. Then we're going to have them cross their chest and do this. That's the feeling they want to have when they start their backswing. Then choke down on the ball, elbows in. This is very important to keep the elbows against their bodies. And then just simply twist the shoulders back and let the ball come around and touch them right in the middle of the back. And then all we do is we simply tilt down into our rooster stance, let the arms hang down, and then we just simply let her go. And that would be your full drive. The kids are just going to love that. So the mantra is up high, down low, and then let her go. So that's how you use your Air Golf Flyer to develop the 4 swings of golf. So when we get into using the golf clubs, you have the green shafted ones, which is for the little kids under 5. Then you have the 6, 7, and 8-year-olds are going to use the yellow shaft. And then you have your 9 and 10-year-olds, the blue, and then your 11 and up are going to use the red shafted clubs. So let's get into the putting fundamentals. So in the putter, as I mentioned, every swing is an arc. So with a putting stroke, you're going to take your stance like a rooster, hang the arms down like an elephant trunk, and then a putting stroke is just a simple little arc, right like this. And then we simply put the ball down and we swing the hands back and forth and roll it right into the target. Now you'll see on top of the grip here, we have the white and the blue, and that's because you want to have both of your thumbs on top like this in a putting stroke. And I like to keep the elbows apart like this so that everything stays together. Now the tool, your power hanger, is what's going to give you that feeling. So what you want to do with this when you're working with the kids is you want to have them hold it up in front of them, and then they just slip their arms in above the elbows, clap their hands, and then simply sit down like a rooster, hang their arms like an elephant, and then just swing the elephant trunk. And this is a critical movement for them to feel in putting. Back and forth and back and forth. And they should do this a few times, and then when they pick up their club, they're going to retain that feeling so that they can integrate that into their putting stroke. Using this power hanger is going to be so key for you in all the various shots of golf. So that's the putting stroke. For all your shots using the club, we're going to use this power hanger, which is going to develop feelings for them that are the correct feelings right out of the start. And that way they'll be able to retain them when you do take this off. And the way this fits on the club is it has a bevel on the top of the grip and also at the bottom of the power hanger, and it fits right on top. You'll see it'll fit on there nice and snug. And you want to slide it up to where the hook is at the top of the grip there. So it should be just a little bit up above there. Then you want to simply take a piece of masking tape. You could use duct tape, and then you want to simply tape this on the club for the kids so that it doesn't slip off. It'll be a lot easier for them to use. Now with this, we're always going to hold it out in front again and put our left thumb on the right side, and this is going to come to the arm. And then our hands together and the right thumb is on the left side. And so this is how you've got a perfect grip now with the power hanger on there. Now let's get into the chip shot. And I'm set up here with my target with the mat, and I'm going to tee up a ball. And with this one now we're looking for a little bit of a longer shot. A chip shot's going to go back a little bit longer on this. And so you want to have them have that feeling with the chip. And then again, they're going to get their grip and their stance. And with the chip shot, we're going to have them put their right toe at the ball and their left foot towards the hole and form a straight line to the back of the ball. Now we just simply have them swing their elephant trunk back and through and not hit the ball, just let it come through and swing it all the way through, chipping it right to the target. Now, with the grip, you want to always have that left hand and left arm attached to the hook at all times. So you don't want them to be flipping at it. And what I suggest is that the distance from the targets, you don't want to go too far away so that they're going to miss the target. So I like to keep it in here about 4 to 5 feet away. So your basic chip shot is very easy. We have the targets, and just be sure that they remember that every shot is a nice circular swing through the ball. Now when the kids are out playing and they want to make a full swing, then you want to talk about how the golf club swings around in a circle all the way around their body, and then we simply tilt that circle down by getting into our rooster stance and swinging our arms around like an elephant trunk. Then the ball just should simply get in the way of the club head swinging in a circle. So one of the practice exercises we do is have them set up to the ball, and with a full swing you want to have the ball in the middle of the stance, is to have them bring the club up above them, their hands here, and make a baseball swing. Make a baseball swish, and we call this up high and then down low over the top of the ball, and then they just simply make their baseball swing around and through the ball, and that's for the full swing. You want to use this when you're outside hitting your full shots. The power hanger is designed for kids 6 years old and up. So if you've got the little ones, you don't need to use it. Just have them swing their arms back and forth like an elephant trunk, and that'll get the job done.